Hey, it's Jim Cress with you for just a moment to show you how to draw a trauma egg. Sometimes I call these a life story or life impact egg. Here's what one looks like when it's done. You can see there's just a shape of an egg in the middle, and then there are these little cells or squares. I often use circles that have pictures in them that are representative of impactful things, abusive things, traumatic things, sexual things that have happened in your life story from birth really up to current day. And you'll see what we put in these four quadrants here in just a moment. Here's how I do it, and I'm going to allow this to be, for just a moment, an example of what it looks like to do a trauma egg. This will be my poster board. So you want to go out and get the poster board wherever you get at your office supply place or Walmart, and do it where it is portrait, not landscape. You also want to get a pack of these. You can get the one that's about 3 or 4 in a pack. Different colored Sharpie markers that you draw to use different color when you're using the pens to draw your trauma egg. You also want to have then a cheat sheet, just a legal pad here, and as you're drawing these different bubbles, squares, or cells in this egg that I'll show you in a moment, you just put your cheat sheet down. You say number 1, you drew a picture of that. Number 2 is a picture of that. 3, and so on and so forth. So you have a listing. What does the picture represent? Because part of what you're doing there is you're drawing pictures instead of using words. So as you can see here, here's your poster board. Draw an egg in the middle just by itself. And then what you'll do is up here in this quadrant, this corner, you'll write what were the rules of your family growing up. Spoken or unspoken, family rules. Don't talk, don't use this language, don't talk back, don't be angry, better make good grades. What were the rules, spoken or unspoken, in the family you grew up in? Over here, what roles did you play in your family? Not the roles of anyone else, just that you play. Maybe you were the mascot or the hero or what I call the surrogate spouse. That happens. Maybe you were the lost child or the rebel or the good boy or the good girl, the performer, whatever else you want to call it, the little saint, that's in there for some people, little prince. You can make up your own names, but those are some ideas of some of the roles that maybe you played in your family. The bottom corner here of your trauma egg poster board, use descriptive words of mom. Words that describe, adjectives that describe mom, good, bad, or indifferent, especially in the growing up years. We're here to tell our story, tell the truth. I call this naming, not blaming. Descriptive terms of mom, then descriptive terms of dad. List them here. Then you put number 1 here. I use little bubbles. Some people do squares. You want about 25 of these or so, maybe more, from birth or even pre-birth up till current day. Pre-birth would be someone says you were born premature. You don't remember that, or there was some kind of trauma, or you were born into. What were you born into? Parents feuding and fighting, or maybe here I drew, a family of siblings, and you down here with a stick figure like you weren't really wanted. You were an oops baby. There may be adoption or something else that went on. Draw pictures, number 1. Number 2, describe on your cheat sheet, but draw pictures of traumatic, sexual things, maybe the discovery of pornography, sexual abuse that went on, being bullied, things that were sad. I drew here R.I.P. could be the death of a pet. And you say, I remember that and what a loss that was. What was the impact on you? Could be up here, I put a mom and a dad with a lightning bolt kind of between them. Can be a divorce that happened or a breakup in a marriage, fighting, things that went on. You'll know as you do your story, started pre-birth, if there's any stories around that, and go up to current day, but especially birth till about age 25. Sexual, abusive, hurtful things that went on, traumatic things that went on in your life. If you'll draw them, in about every other line, leave one of these cells empty, so that you can come back. You may, while we're doing our work in person together, you may think, I realize now that I had a new memory, an epiphany come back. Leave one of these cells empty every other line or so, and think of about, these are pretty big how I've drawn them so you can see them, but maybe about 25 of these cells or more, and that's your trauma egg all the way up. Some people find it helpful to sit down and just start writing out or typing out their life story. And this happened, and in that year of my life, this happened, and then they transfer it with pictures only here. Some people moved away a lot, maybe military or something else. They draw just a moving truck representing things that were impactful in your life. the top of this egg, and it's only called an egg because it's in the shape of an egg on your poster board, leave that blank up at the part of the top, and we're going to put something in there when we're together. Now you're going to get a instruction sheet from me via email and a PowerPoint showing what a trauma egg looks like. Again, when it's done, it will probably look something about like that. That's your trauma egg, and we will begin. You got to collect the dots before you connect the dots, and we'll be able to explore this as we go into our work together. If you have any questions, certainly you can email me, just jim@jimcress.com, and you'll be fine. Get this done. Usually I tell people to spend 2 to 3 to 4 hours on this, okay, to really spend some time doing that, and we'll hit that as soon as we get to do our work together. I'm looking forward to seeing your life story, your trauma egg, and working through it.